Hello, everyone. Today we'll talk about the Anglo-Saxon democracy. First of all, I want to say some words about this term, Anglo-Saxon term. The first thing, Anglo-Saxon term used historically to describe any member of the Germanic peoples who, from the 5th century to the time of the Norman conquest, inhabited and ruled territories that are today part of England and Wales. According to Bede, the Venerable, the Anglo-Saxons were the descendants of three different Germanic people: the Angles, Saxons, and Jutes. Their subsequent settlements in is now England laid the foundation for the later kingdoms of Essex, Sussex, and Wessex, East Anglia, Mid Anglia, Mercia, and Northumbria, and Kent. So about the history a little bit, historically formation of Anglo-Saxon society, the Anglo-Saxon organized themselves into social classes similar to other Germanic tribes. At the head of the tribe is the chieftain, a little that later become king. The position of chieftain or king passed through male bloodlines, with the ruler's eldest son as the heir. The word king comes to us from the ancient world scene, which literally means family lineage. The Anglo Saxons strongly believed that the male bloodline had to be kept pure because it was the family's link back to Woden. Beyond the tribal chieftains, the Anglo Saxon villages were structured with social hierarchies similar to other medieval settlements. There were farmers, merchants, builders, and people who made weapons, clothes, leather goods, and other necessary items. This working class answered to the ruling class but were free to live their lives as they wished. The slave class enjoyed far fewer freedoms. The most prominent occupation was farming. The production of food also included hunting and fishing. Formation of the settlements. The chieftains of several of the Anglo-Saxon settlements on the British Isles banded together against the invading Vikings. Leading them was an Anglo-Saxon king who became known as Alfred the Great. Under his leadership, the Anglo-Saxons defeated the Vikings at the Battle of Edington in 1878. The Anglo-Saxons held control over Britain until 1066, one of the momentous years in the world history. The Anglo-Saxon king Edward the Confessor died, and the Normans took control of Britain away from the Anglo-Saxons in 1066. So about the Dark Age, even though historians refer to the Anglo-Saxon era is in Britain as the Dark Age, the Anglo-Saxons made their mark on the history of England and, in fact, all of Europe. Once they converted to Christianity, they helped to initiate the conversion of their pagan allies, using their various alliances to negotiate foreign relations and to establish a booming trade. Perhaps their biggest contribution was their success in merging the different kingdoms of Britain into one unified force. For the first time, the people living on the British Isles viewed themselves as something bigger than their individual kingdom. They viewed themselves as English. So let me talk about right now. I'm coming to the democracy, the definition of the democracy in case of UK. Brief history of UK democracy. The UK's democratic political history is best characterized by gradual reform, perhaps traceable back to the Magna Carta. signed by King John in 1215. This was the first time that the monarch agreed to a limitation of their powers, although this was more for the benefit of small elite barons rather than the population as a whole. Subsequent centuries saw the monarch ruling against a parliament that was increasingly assertive. This came to a head in 1642 when civil war broke out between Parliament and Charles I, resulting in the execution of the monarch and a brief period of a republic. This lasted until 1660, with the death of Oliver Cromwell and the restoration of Charles II as monarch. Britain has had a monarchy ever since, albeit with a gradual reduction in their powers. The Glorious Revolution of 1689 finally established the primacy of parliament over the monarch, along with the principle of constitutional rule. So about the parliament, parliament is UK Parliament is another feature of the UK's democracy system. This consists of the monarch, the uh, House of Commons, which is elected, and the House of Lords, which is appointed. The government is formed from the party which has an overall majority in the House of Commons. In the event of a hung parliament where there is no overall majority, parties are able to join together to create coalitions. This is very rare in the UK due to the characteristics of the electoral system. The electorate votes in members of parliament every 5 years under the Fixed Term Parliaments Act. This is a little bit about the Anglo-Saxon formation and democracy in case of UK. I hope you enjoy this video and see you on the next video. Thank you for watching.